guys, I'm the Burke and I do things, and today I decided that I wanted to film a full face using some of my favorite drugstore makeup. Now when I say drugstore, I'm going to include places like Rite Aid, Walgreens, CVS, Target, Walmart. I'm going to overall consider all of those drugstore. If you would also like to see a similar video like this using full face from Ulta using their more drugstore priced makeup, leave me a comment down below and let me know. And now if you want to continue watching and see me use some of my favorite drugstore makeup, then keep on watching. Let's go. Also, I am not naked. Just thought that would be important to let everyone know. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do, since I do know I will be using a matte liquid lip at the end of this video, I'm going to moisturize my lips. And I'm just going to use a regular old chapstick. This is the Total Hydration Total Oasis. I just like to throw a little on and let them moisturize a little while I do the rest of my makeup. Now for primer, one of my favorite drugstore primers I never hear anyone talk about. This is the Wet n Wild Dewy Face Primer. This one honestly reminds me so much of the Becca primer. I use this all the time. Now today for foundation, we will use my favorite foundation. It is a drugstore foundation and it is the L'Oreal Pro Glow. I love this stuff. I use the shade 202 Creamy Natural. I just think not only do I really like the way it looks, but it is long lasting. So I can wear this and not worry about anything going on all day. And then I do make sure to drag it a little down my neck just to make sure everything seamlessly blends together. You can probably even see that my self-tan is not great right now. Like, my neck is easily darker than my chest. That will be changing soon, but for now, we're just gonna look like this. Okay, now next for concealer, I'm actually gonna blend two together. I'm going to blend together the L'Oreal True Match along with the Flower Beauty Light Illusion. I feel like individually I'm not crazy about them, but I feel like they work well together, at least for me. That just covered everything. For powders, I typically use two different powders when I set my face. I usually use a lighter powder in this area and a darker powder around. So for my lighter powder, I'm going to go in with the Coty Airspun. And I usually use a smaller tapered brush for that. And then for the outer portion of my face, I use the e.l.f. finishing powder. This is the fair light color, but this is a little bit too dark for setting under my eyes. So what I do is I'll take a really big fluffy brush and just swirl it around just to set anything along the perimeter. Now, I typically like to spray down all the powders once I set them, just so everything can melt together easily. As far as drugstore products go, that's what I use my Pixi Glow Mist for. I'm very low on this and I have already purchased my backup. And then I like to let that all melt together for a minute or two, and then we'll go on to brows. Okay, as far as eyebrow pencils from the drugstore go, it's hard for me to find one that I like typically because the formula is never what I'm looking for. However, there is one that I genuinely like, and that is the Maybelline Total Temptation brow pencil, and I have the shade Soft Brown. It's very different than any brow pencil I have because it does have this little nub as a spoolie, and then the actual pencil is a diamond shape, but it really does work well and I really like it a lot. And then for a brow gel today, I will be using the Wet n Wild Ultimate Brow Mascara. This is maybe not the best brow product, but I find you just really need to make sure to, you know, touch off this spoolie or else it gets way too much product on it. So as long as you clean off that spoolie, it does work really well. For eyeshadow, I really don't know what I want to do. I have a bunch of palettes sitting in front of me. My top has like purple in it, so I feel like we want to do something with purple. So I feel like I'm going to start with a transition shade from the Wet n Wild Not a Basic Peach palette and this top one up here. Then I want to go into this L'Oreal what is it called? The L'Oreal Disney palette. And I'm going to go in with this 4th shade right here in the crease as well. Then I'm going to go in this Milani Basic Mattes Everyday Eye palette and use this shade right here in the outer corner. Now I want to go into the e.l.f. Mad for Matte Jewel Pop shadows and use this purple shade right here, right on the eyelid. Then I want to darken the outer corner a little bit with this brown shade. And now I'm going to go into the NYX Love You So Mochi Electric Pastel palette and use this shade right here. It's like this really pretty duochrome all over the lid. And I find that that palette works the best with your fingers. Before I do the lower lash line, I'm going to throw on a little eyeliner. This is the Maybelline New York Lasting Drama Waterproof Gel Pencil in Sleek Onyx. Okay, so under the eyes, I'm going to start with this black along the lower lash line, and then I'm going to blend it out with the transition shade we used. Now for the inner corner, I'm going to go back into the L'Oreal Disney palette and use the first lightest shade. Okay, and there are the eyes. I really wanted to try to use as many drugstore palettes as I could in that portion. Now for bronzer, I'm assuming this comes as a shock to no one, but I will be using the Butter Bronzer. For blush, I will be using the e.l.f. Primer Infused Blush in Always Rosy. I think e.l.f. makes some of the best drugstore blushes. And now I have 2 highlighters. So the first one I will be using on my face is very new in my collection, but it's so good. The Pixi Glossomer Duo in Subtle Sunrise. This champagne is amazing. But I figured, let's have some fun with highlighter. So I also have the Wet n Wild Mega Glow Loose Highlighter in Written in the Stars, and I'm going to use that in this area because why not? So some of the things I like to do is you could take like a small pointed highlighting brush. This specifically is the Morphe M501. I don't really like this for my face. I know it's very popular for the face, but it's skinny enough where you can just hit the collarbone there and hit the collarbone right there. Or I like to sometimes take something a little bit floppier and do right here. And then hit a little right there. And then you look super glowy. And now for setting spray, I like to avoid matte setting sprays unless I'm doing something like maybe going to a wedding where I know it's gonna have to last all day, or it's really hot out and I don't want anything melting. But for the most part, I like to reach for the NYX Dewy setting spray. Now for mascara, I doubt this is going to shock anyone, but I really like the Lash Paradise from L'Oreal. And then finally, for a lip product, I assume we can get this at Target. I don't know if I've ever seen the brand at Target, but this came in a Target beauty box, so I'm guessing we can get it at Target. And this is from Sleek Makeup, and this is the Major Matte Ultra Smooth Matte Lip Cream in the shade Daydreamer. I love this product. And there you have it, a full face using some of my favorite makeup from the drugstore. Let me know, what are your favorite products, or any of the ones I used in this video, some of your favorites? Leave me a comment down below and let me know. As usual, thanks for stopping by my channel. If you're new here, click the subscribe button and ring that bell for notifications. I have my Twitter, my Instagram, and my blog down below. Give them a follow, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys!